Well, grand evening, everybody. Lakeisha-mcknight is here. I want to welcome everybody to the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. I am your host and your senior coach. That's right, a senior women's coach, women's career development coach, welcoming you here to the show, the podcast show here. And this is being brought to you on behalf of Women of Elevation Career Services International. It is a beautiful Tuesday evening here in Chesapeake, Virginia, within the US of A. It is March the 10th of 2020. So welcome everybody here to the podcast show. And what I'm going to be doing right now is definitely doing a bit of a stream. I'm going to be doing a watch party in the virtual community group for Women of Elevation. So just give me a moment and I'm going to go ahead and get this particular watch party going. Thank you so very much, everybody, for your patience. Those catching this live or even just getting the replay of this, thank you so very much for your patience as we are setting this watch party up. And so, again, this particular show here, this podcast show is something we do every Tuesday and every Wednesday. Okay, so we do this show every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and normally around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's our normal time when doing this particular podcast show. And I want to welcome everybody here. Welcome to those who are just plugging in the Women of Elevation group on Facebook. Welcome aboard to everyone. It truly is an honor and a privilege to be able to sow value into your lives. And so what I'm going to be doing right now is just laying a foundation, informing you about the podcast, and then also diving into the topic matter at hand. So the Revitalize a Total Woman podcast, as I mentioned, is something we do every Tuesday and Wednesday around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so it really coincides with the mission of the organization. And the mission of the organization really is to empower women like yourselves with the tools to be able to create, relate, and elevate so you can walk in your God-given purpose and truly live your dream lifestyles. Now, there are many ways, of course, to be involved here in the podcast show. Number one, you definitely can love the stream if you are someone who is in hot pursuit of your career and really just trying to live your best life right now. If that's you, if you're trying to walk in God's purpose and plan for your life, go ahead and hit the love button for me. All right. Also, number two, we do have the comment section. So if you have, something that you want to share, if you have a question you want to ask, go ahead and ask it in that area. And then we do have the share button. So you can share this out. So you can share this on your timeline, a group, a fan page, wherever there's women hanging out, go ahead and share it there so you can be a blessing to them. All right. Wonderful. Now, like I said, this podcast show represents the organization called Women of Elevation. And if you're not familiar with this nonprofit organization, I want to encourage you to go ahead, visit the website at your convenience. Maybe not right now or live, right? But when you have the time, go ahead and visit the website. And so that website address is www.womenofelevatio.com. So our headquarters is here in Chesapeake, Virginia, but we also have a location in Nigeria, Africa. And so we're looking forward to seeing what God has planned, for the organization to do, and being able to impact not just women here in the United States, but abroad in other places as well. So good evening to everybody that's here live. I do see, of course, one of my sisters here, Jamario. Thank you so very much for being present as well. Those of you on my timeline, it's an honor. Now, if you're trying to be plugged in, you want to be really in the scoop and wanting to be in a know as far as what's going on with this organization, we encourage you, for those of you who are on the podcast platforms or on my timeline or somebody else's timeline, we invite you to definitely plug into the community area for the organization itself. Now, we do have a private community area. It's a group. We invite you to request to join the group. It's really simple and it's free to do. And the reason why you want to plug in is because we're looking forward to gradually providing more career development content in that group. We want to be able to hear your voice. What is it that you specifically need in this season of your lives and how the organization can be that bridge to provide that resource for you. So the way to enter this group is by going to www.woecommunity.com. So WOE community.com would be the group that you would want to visit. Go to that website. It'll direct you to the group. Request to join the group. All right? Wonderful. So let's dive into the topic matter at hand. Here's the topic. Now, if you don't know, this podcast, what we do is we break down the topics that we talk about into 3 core areas. So the first core area is create. So from January through April, we're teaching women like yourself, how to create products, services, how to really host your own events if that's something you're looking forward to accomplishing. And so tonight, during this episode, we're talking about creating mid-tier level services. Now, I know you may be thinking, well, Lakeisha, what is mid-tier? Tell me about mid-tier. Now, let's back up a bit, because if you've missed the previous episodes, it really led up to this point. Now, we first spoke about the importance of creating a free service, right? And then we spoke about doing somewhat of like an appetizer type of service where, you're allowing people to get a little bit of a taste as to what it is that you have to offer. But tonight, we're talking about mid-tier. Now, mid-tier can be somewhat of a higher priced service that you would offer a part of your business. So let me give you an example of what a mid-tier would be. A mid-tier can be anything such as, it can be group coaching, where it's more of a continual process, okay? It's more along the lines of something that's a bit more in depth. It's a bit more in depth. They're getting more substance from you and the topic matter that you may be an expert in. So mid-tier, let me give you a little bit of an idea of what the price level would look like for a mid-tier project or mid-tier service that you would offer. It could be anywhere from $97 to $147, no more than $197 for a mid-tier service. This is mid-tier. And I would advise, in my personal opinion, for it to be some level of a one-off or maybe a 2-part type of project. So I would encourage you to try to make sure it's not extreme, because it will take away from the main service that you want to offer your potential clients. So if you're offering consulting, if you're offering coaching, or even a mentorship type of service, you want to make sure that you're not going to give too much, but at the same time, you want to give great substance. So it has to find that happy medium and that balance in between. And so hopefully you're understanding where I'm going with this. So because what we're going to do next, and that means tomorrow night, we're going to talk about the main deal. We're going to talk about the main meal that people are going to be eating from, clients are going to be eating from. So again, this is a little bit of a snippet, not meant to be long or in depth, but to give you an idea of how you can set up your perhaps funnel. Some people are familiar with that topic or that word, funnel. You can create a funnel of services that you can offer potential clients. And you can infuse this particular funnel within your present business. And let me tell you, people are looking for what you have, but you have to let people know that you're in business, that you're open, right? You're open to serve. Your business is open. It has a lot to do with marketing. How are you promoting your service? How are you marketing your service? Are you going where the clients are potentially hanging out? In this season, is it something that they really need or want? There's so many questions at hand, but if you're putting it together, if you're working with a mentor or coach, someone that can help you to put your funnel together, you should be absolutely fine. But marketing is going to be the key. Okay, marketing is absolutely the key behind it all. So I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for being here with me during this particular podcast show. Here's a brief reminder for everyone. If you're not registered for the upcoming Telesummit event that's taking place March the 24th through the 26th, you want to make sure you register. It is 3 nights of free classes. That's right, free 99. 3 nights of free classes, right? And so you'll have 24 hours to access replays just in case you cannot make it live on the platform. And so you want to make sure you reserve your virtual seat because it's going to happen on the Zoom platform. Reserve your virtual seat because seats will be limited, all right? It's limited to probably about 100 seats. So once the 100 seats is filled, and they fill up pretty fast, that's it. We're going to lock in right there, okay? So make sure you get your seat on the platform. And so here's how you can register for the Telesummit event. You would simply go to www.thecreatetelesummit.com. And it's exactly how it sounds. Thecreatetelesummit.com. And so it's really simple. It's a small form that you would complete. It's going to lead you, after you submit it, it will lead you to the group where more support information will be found, including soon you're going to get the gradual details for the Zoom platform right there in that group. All right? So I just want to say thank you so much for your time tonight, for being here. We'll be back tomorrow night to continue with talking about a services funnel. All right, everybody, be blessed. Have an amazing evening. Good night.